What's going on? Uh, Well, I've got a review here. This figure I got from Brenda on Facebook. I'm not Tracy, and she's currently selling calendars. So you guys need to go pick you up a calendar from her. If you don't know how to get in contact with her, just let me know. But she's in a lot of different groups. The main one would be Make Mine Marvel. So if you join that group, you can get in contact with her and then take and buy a calendar from her. But that's not why I'm here. So I'm here to do a review, and it is of the Elusive Dragon Man. So this figure's pretty stout. It's a pretty big figure. You can see from the size of it. I mean, he's like bigger than my face. So, but let's get into it real quick. Just give you guys a up close look at his face. And you can see here that his mouth does open and close, depending on what you want to do with it. But we'll get into the articulation here in a minute. You can see his side profile here, his hands, got his feet. And you know, you always look at this guy, you see photos maybe out there, but when you actually hold him, he's a heavy figure and he's extremely detailed. I mean, from the tail, you know, all the way up to his head, to his wings. You can see all the different veins and stuff there that he has in his wings. So they did an excellent job. When they made this figure, the only thing about it is they didn't make a lot of this figure. So, and what they made that hit the market, you know, he's just really hard to get a hold of. So for a lot of people, this is kind of like their holy grail. You know, they, you know, really want this figure. And granted, if you want this guy, typically he's going to cost you a pretty penny. And if you can get them for less than, you know, $200, you know, that's a good deal. I'm just saying. Typically, though, he's going to go on eBay for auction for about $175 or so, and that's with him being loose. If you're trying to get one that's on a card, he's going to go for a lot more, closer to $500. So, but even loose, this guy, you know, can go for anywhere from $175 to $300. So I've seen something ridiculous. A buddy of mine got this figure. He went to Vintage Stock, and they thought that this figure was a Build-A-Figure. Well, at Vintage Stock, all of their Build-A-Figures, they sold them for $50. So he ended up picking up Dragon Man for $50, which is still of a deal. And I don't think that was in this city. I think he picked it up in like Tulsa or something like that. So anyways, I thought I'd share that story. I thought that was pretty awesome. So you can still find a lot of good deals, and how that thing was still there, I have no idea at $50. So a lot of people probably came in and didn't realize what was there. So let's go over the articulation here. You can see the head, you know, looks up and down, and if you look underneath, there's not really a hinge on the neck. It's just on, I think, one giant ball. Then his jaw can open and close. Which, by the way, check that out. Even the detail on his mouth, inside his mouth, the tongue, all that, even the roof of the mouth. I mean, they put a lot of work into this figure. So, anyways, his shoulder here is on a ball joint, and it can go up somewhat. It's hindered because of the bulkiness here in the shoulder. So, but he goes up and down some. Swivels here at the bicep. He's got a single jointed elbow, and then he's got a little joint here, if you can see in his hand, so he can flex his wrist in and back out like that if you want to do that. He's also got a swivel here at the waist, and then he's got I think it's what you would call a T-joint, because he can go out to the side, and then without having to rotate the joint, you can still make him go forward, and he can, you know, really he doesn't go forward a whole lot. It's hindered due to the pants here, so he doesn't have a whole lot of mobility. You don't really get this figure for articulation, just so you know. It's not a well articulated figure. Now, for what it does have for its size and how they made it and everything, it's pretty awesome. This is more of, like, to me, like a sculptor's, you know, masterpiece type figure. You know, something that you set up that's more like a statue instead of, you know, an action figure. Something that's going to be highly posable. He does have a single jointed knee, and then he's got a joint here at his ankle. So you can get a few poses. It doesn't really move as much back, and it only moves slightly forward. And then he also has a little joint here for his toes, so his toes can go down or his toes can go up like that. His tail on the back side, it will swivel. It's just a rubber type material, and you can pop the tail off, and you can put it back on. And then you've got the wings on the back here, which are posable, and they just pop in and out of this little socket here, which you probably can't see, but there's a little socket here on the back, and the wings just pop in and out of that. But you can, you know, move the wings around and whatnot if you want to. For the review purposes, I could take the wings out, but I'm not going to. We can just talk about the articulation. So this guy will be going into my case for sure, so I'm really excited that I got this guy, and probably won't let him go at all or for a really long time. So, and another thing that I really liked about this figure that a lot of people kind of overlooked is if you look at his face and even look at his eyeballs, I mean, they've got the paint on there that makes it look like it's kind of like a glare, like the light's hitting it. That's not from the computer or anything. That's not a reflection of light from the computer. That is just how well they painted the eyes, as you can see, like right there. So if you guys get a hold of this figure, I mean, one, he's hard to find. There's not a lot of this figure that's around and out there. So if you get him or you see him somewhere, and like I said, you can get them for under, you know, $200. You're probably getting a pretty good deal. If you get them for $100, you're getting a great deal, and if you get them for $50, you just robbed somebody. So yeah, comment, subscribe. You know, if you guys have some questions about this figure, if there's something else that you want to know, just, you know, shoot me a message and we can talk about it, or I can look at it and say, hey, you know, this is what it has or what it doesn't have, or whatever, you know, you might have a question about. And like I said, you know, I'm Not Tracy, selling our calendars. They're 18 in the US and 25, I think, outside of that. So you guys go ahead and go get you some, and, you know, post up some of your videos, maybe like in a response. If you've got a Dragon Man figure, you know, I'd like to just see, you know, your review of Dragon Man, you know, what your figure looks like, if you've got them on card or whatever. You know, just post a video response to this video. That would be kind of cool to see just how many people out there actually have Dragon Man, because I know there's not a lot of them around. So if you guys are watching, you got Dragon Man, video response to this, I'd appreciate it. So I'd like to see what you guys got.